guys, welcome back to the channel once again. I am Robert Storms, and full disclosure, I didn't think that intro was going to end that quickly. I wasn't meaning to be in mid fist pump when the intro ended, but here we are. And no, I haven't been streaming all that much lately. Been playing a lot of Nintendo Switch. Speaking of which, big news with the Switch today. And, I haven't really feeling that good. I just woke up from a nap, so started getting all jittery again today. And it was like that yesterday, too. So, you know how it is. But once I get this stupid thing working, we will start the discussion at long last. Got my smart water, because I'm dumb as a motherfucking brick. And, so I decided to talk about the Joker tonight, mostly because there's not really a hell of a lot to talk about, which really sucks. We're getting to the slow season now, because Spider-Man Far From Home already came out. There is no other superhero movie coming out this year other than the Joker, which is coming out in October. So now we're hitting to for me and my channel, we are hitting slow news categories until Comic-Con, when hopefully Kevin Feige released the new upcoming slate. So right now, there's just nothing to talk about. I mean, you go back and you look at my videos for the past 5 days, right? Hardly any views. There's like nothing going on, right? Well, like 2,000. I got like 2,000 views, and that's really about it. There's nothing going on. Yesterday, I did a video on... What the hell did I do a video on yesterday? Let me check real quick. So, yesterday morning, I did a video... Oh, yeah, I remember what it is now. So, yesterday morning, I did a video on Vanessa Kirby being rumored to play Catwoman, right? I'm like, oh, this is great news. Hobbs and Shaw is coming out, and, she's one of the stars in Hobbs and Shaw. So, let's talk about her possibly being rumored for Catwoman. Yeah. I uploaded early in the morning. Usually I know how many views I should have at what time of day. And I'm sitting here and it's like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I only got like 500 views. I'm like, what the hell? Usually I get like 500 views in 30 minutes, right? Like the first 30 minutes, usually I get about 500 views. I usually get about 1,000 views in the first hour. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh crap, nobody's talking about this. So I got home, and then I did another video on Joker will not follow the comic books. The Joker will not follow the comic books, and that did a little better. I uploaded that yesterday. That's in at 3,000 views. And then I uploaded a video today talking about Dark Phoenix and how it flopped worse than Fan Four Stick, and that's only sitting at 2,100 views. So I haven't looked at the statistics on my views lately, but they haven't been good. My Mulan only has 3,400 views. Spider-Man Far From Home has 4,100 views. Spider-Man, what's this one? Spider-Man Far From Home and post-credit scene explained, a little bit better with 5,900 views. And then my two biggest ones are The Little Mermaid. The first one, when I first talk about Little Mermaid, her being black, that's got 29,000 views. And then the other one, the follow-up one, is 57,000 or 5,700. So, the point I'm trying to get to here, people, because you're probably saying, hey, Fatty, what the hell is your point? Is that there's nothing to talk about in the superhero comic book realm, really. Now, I heard about a couple hours ago that Millie Bobby Brown is apparently cast for Eternals. Apparently Deadline or Hollywood Reporter or some big company accidentally dropped her name as the list of the cast for San Diego Comic-Con, and I think that's really big news, so I'm saving that for tomorrow's video to talk about Millie Bobby Brown possibly being Eternals, because I think that's a huge thing. And I didn't hear Keanu Reeves mentioned, because originally we were talking about Keanu Reeves possibly being Eternals, but I'll tell you one thing, with Millie Bobby Brown being cast in Eternals, that's sort of like the shining grace for me to make me want to go see that movie, because when you mention Eternals, like, I don't care about Eternals. I don't care. You know what I mean? But when you add, like, someone like Angelina Jolie or Millie Bobby Brown, It makes me want to go see it. I just woke up about like 30 minutes ago. I don't know why I'm yawning, man. Don't know why I'm yawning. I'm an old man. I'm an old man. So, needless to say, some things are gonna have to probably change with the channel because I don't have the subscriber base like a Comic Book Cast 2 or HN Entertainment where they can put out 40 videos a day and 40 videos a day and be able to generate views. I have enough time to do one video a day. I have enough time to do one video in the morning and then a live stream at night if I don't want to get no sleep. So I'm gonna have to do something. Maybe do stuff more topical. Maybe stretch out of the comic book genre now, because I spent 2 years in the comic genre. Normally, when I first did my channel, I did everything. I did video games, hot topics, everything. And I spent 2 years in the comic genre because of the way the channel blew up after Black Panther. Maybe it's time for me to expand that genre and go to maybe big movie news in general and not so much just superhero movies, although it was still focused on superhero films. But yeah, so that I'm gonna have to at some point because there's not enough superhero news to keep this channel afloat, and that's really and that's really important. I'm also thinking about Sundays being video game days, because I've been getting back into playing my Switch lately. And I started building, like you guys know, I sold my comic book collection because of the car accident and everything. Well, slowly been buying Switch games, like a $15 game here, a $20 game here. I started building up my Switch collection, and I'm thinking about starting to do like maybe Switch videos on Sundays, because Sundays are throwaway days anyway. That's when there's not a lot of people watching stuff, and usually there's not a lot of news. So I was like, well, if I'm not going to get any views on Sunday regardless, unless something really big happens the day before, I might as well do something that I love to do and do a Switch video. Because I've been playing Bloodstained Ritual of the Night for the Nintendo Switch. And people were like, oh, that game's... The funny thing is, right, it came out on PS4 and Xbox, and then a week later on Nintendo Switch. And I waited for a week later to get it on the Switch because I work a lot. So I can bring it on the go and play it at work. And I seen people saying, "Oh, that game is horrible. The graphics are awful. There's input lag, and it drops from 30 frames per second to whatever, like 25 frames per second. It is absolutely unplayable." So I bought it on the Xbox One. Really enjoyed the game. Graphics are beautiful. I love the gameplay. Love everything about it. Right. Played it for a few days, and I'm like, I'm not playing this nowhere near as much as that I would if I had it on the Nintendo Switch. So I traded my Xbox One version in, put an extra $10 in, and got it for the Nintendo Switch. And dude, I've been stuck on that fucking game, man. Like, I love that fucking game. I was up until like 2 in the morning playing it last night. I've been playing it every single day, and now that I go back to work on Friday, I've been on vacation, so Friday I can be able to bring it to work with me. I'll stick it in my Satisfy grip, be able to bring it to work, play it. Is the graphics as good as the Xbox One or PS4? No, right? You're not gonna, like, the PS4 and Xbox One are so powerful. You're not gonna get the same texture maps as you would on those consoles on the Nintendo Switch, but there's only been one part in the game where I actually noticed that, and that was when you're on top of the ship and you see all the water everywhere, which, for the record, looks ridiculous on the PS4 and Xbox anyway. There's no way that water is going to be like that bold and stuff and vibrant on that ship, but I'm actually enjoying it. I don't notice the input lag. I don't notice, like, the frames dropping. It plays really well, unless they patched it since I got it, but I enjoyed it so much. But I've been playing a shitload of that, shitload of Mario Maker, just really playing like some games, trying to relax a bit. Friday, I got to jump back on this diet. I got to start juicing. I got to get my health in the right spot. So I'm just trying to think of things to do to help build the channel. Every once in a while, I'll throw like random question, right? Like, hey, would you guys like to see me do this, this, and this? Or hey, you guys got any topics? And there are never any topics that really bring in a big crowd, right? Like a couple people asked me, why don't you think about possibly doing a Spider-Man ranking video? And I would love to. I really would. But if you go back and you look at my ranking videos, they don't do well, right? Not for the amount of time that I put into it. I did the MCU ranking videos, which was 2 parts. I did that for MegaCon, and I don't think they did very well. Let me check. I don't think they did very well at all. Let me see. Robert Storms. Let me see here. I don't even know why I wrote tanking. Yeah, they didn't do good at all. I ranked all the comic book movies of 2018. They got 3,800 views. Part 1 of my MCU did 3,300. And part 2 got 2,800. My rank in the DCEU films got 2,900. Yeah, so I don't think I'm gonna waste my time ranking the Spider-Man movies because there's so much time that goes into it. Because basically, when you're ranking them, you gotta sit down, you gotta come up with the rankings. You know, I actually like to put thought in it, like, well, would I rather watch this or this or this? And then I got to find the graphics. Then I got to do mini, like when I'm recording, I got to do like little mini reviews for each one. And at that point, it's like the ends don't justify the means for me. If that makes any sense whatsoever. But, so I've been rambling on about video games and stuff for the past, 13 minutes. Well, I guess we ought to get to the topic at hand, right? The Joker. Will the Joker fail? Now, me personally, I don't think this movie is going to fail whatsoever. And I love how people are like, clickbait, and the fucking thumbnail has a question mark. Will the Joker fail? It's a question. It's a fucking question. It's not clickbait, it's a fucking question. How can a question be a click? Anyway, dumb people, what can you do? So, can the Joker fail? Will the Joker fail? Will possibly fail? And the reason why I bring this up is because there's been some stuff going around the interwebs that Todd Phillips says, we did not touch the comics for this story. This is our own thing. This is about a man named Arthur who becomes a Joker. And that's this movie. This movie is about him as the Joker. And I was watching Collider Live, and Roxy does a lot of Warner Brothers DC stuff. She works behind the scenes with I can't remember if she does DC Comic News or she does DC Entertainment something, right? And she said she heard that the Joker is going to be the illegitimate son of not Bruce, Thomas Wayne. Thomas Wayne. Wow, that was really hard for me to get out. The illegitimate son of Thomas Wayne. That the Joker's going to be the illegitimate son of Thomas Wayne. And then you look back at the trailers, I kind of see where that might be possible. Because we see a scene where he's at, looks like Wayne Manor, and he's in the gate, and he's kind of playing with a little boy's hand. It looks like Bruce. It looks like to me that, and this is just me speculating, I don't know anything. It looks like, possibly Arthur shows, like, his mother passes away. I think she's ill. She passes away. He finds out that Thomas is his father. He goes to Wayne Manor and he sees like the little Bruce, and that basically Thomas treats him like shit. Like, hey, get out of here. You know, you're not my kid or whatever. And he kind of looks at Bruce as like, you know, well, he cares for him. Why doesn't he care for me? I think that's slowly going to be what kind of turns him, you know, between the death of his mother, his father not wanting to own him, the way he's being abused, and slowly going to start to deteriorate this man's mind until he becomes the psychopath of the Joker. So, yes, the movie definitely, in my opinion, if they go that story route, I think it has a lot of potential to be a great character piece. But the reason why I asked you the question, will the Joker fail, is because is comic book fans willing to disregard everything in the comics and previous movies and allow Joaquin Phoenix and Todd Phillips to tell their story? That is the question. And are you working on getting another guest for a live show? I would love to. I haven't even contacted Pedro since the last time he was here. And Chris and Adam are off doing their own things. Trust me, I would love to, guys. I really would. Who knows when it's going to happen again. But I really would love to, though. But I asked you guys the question. Would you be willing to see... Why is this camera so fucking high? Hold on a second. Would you guys be willing to see possibly... Boo, boo, boo. That story? Would you guys be willing to watch that story? Be willing to let Todd Phillips tell the story with Joaquin Phoenix about a guy who is being beaten through society, Thomas Wayne, a guy, and here's the thing, because Thomas Wayne, in pretty much every iteration of a Batman story that I've known, he's always been like this good guy, this guy that cares more about others than himself. And this is going to be the first time, really, that we see Thomas Wayne shined in a light that is going to be negative. Will comic book fans be able to accept that? And that's really the reason why I'm bringing this up and saying, will this movie fail? Because hardcore fans, right? Hardcore fans will attack something heavy. I'm more aware that I am one of these, right? Well, you see me attack Spider-Man Homecoming and Spider-Man Far From Home for the slightest bit of characterization that they changed from the comics. Same thing with the 2014 TMNT movie, Ghostbusters, Transformers, So, people get really attached to certain things. But I think, for me, in this film, is I'm going in because I want a good character piece, right? I'm not going in to see Jack Nicholson's Joker. I'm not going in to see Heath Ledger's Joker. I'm not going in there to see something I already seen before, right? Because I've seen it before, right? Whether it be the bajillion comic book, stories of the Joker, because they gave him like 1,000,001 different origin stories now. He's almost like Wolverine, where everybody has their own, like he has like a bajillion different origin stories. Same thing with the Joker now. And we kind of got Joker's origin story for Tim Burton's first Batman. Heath Ledger told like a story, like 3 different stories on how he became like fucked up and scarred and stuff. And I think this would be good for Todd Phillips to come in and say, like, we're telling this story about this character named Arthur, and it's not going to be accurate with the comics at all. We're not even looking at the comics. This is a story that we're taking a character from the comics. It's the character in name and appearance and sort of personality, but we're completely changing what you know about him. Almost like Superman Red Son. If you guys haven't read Superman Red Son, it is where Clark Kent Kal-El lands in Mother Russia rather than the United States of America. And how would the Russians raise this character? And how is that different than, Martha and Jonathan Kent and how they raised Clark? So I kind of feel like this is a Superman Red Son, like almost like an Elseworld. Well, it ain't almost like an Elseworld. It is an Elseworld story of the Joker. Smart water. Because I'm stupid. This live stream is brought to you by Smart Water. It has electrolytes and all kinds of stuff to make dumb people smart. So if this fat son of a bitch can take it and he thinks he's smart, then go... I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing. Snap into a Slim Jim. I completely just poured like water all over my fucking computer tower. That was smart. That was smart, Rob. Let's get smart water all over your computer tower. Because that doesn't work for your job or anything. Oh man. Oh. I came home around 7, laid down around 8:30, and woke up at 10. And I'm still tired. I don't know why. But I don't feel dizzy anymore, though. Knock on wood. Knock on wood. Earlier, I was feeling really dizzy earlier. I really want to play Bloodstain, but don't know if I want to play or go back to sleep. To be honest with you, I guess I could do both. But if you guys have any questions, you guys can throw in some questions. And we can start some discussions up in here. Let me see if I can find a couple exactly. Yeah. I agree with you, House Party, man. I want to see a great character piece. And have them explore the character. That's what I want. Then there's a chance that we could get it with an Oscar category, right? We could probably be nominated for an Oscar. If Heath Ledger's performance got nominated and won, I still say that had a lot to do with him dying, rather than, his performance was great. But if he was alive, they would never have nominated it. But he passed away, so they nominated it. That's just my personal opinion. So if if Joaquin Phoenix can blow this out of the water, then what's the chances of him getting an Oscar nomination and possibly winning? It's possible, right? Yeah, I know they won't give it an Oscar. I know, but you know what's gonna happen, right? If this movie comes out, and it's fantastic, right? It's awesome, and they don't give it a nomination, that just proves more and more that Heath Ledger only got the Oscar because he passed away. If this movie comes out and it's fantastic, like I don't even know why I dropped my hat. If this movie comes out and it's fantastic, right, and the performance is great, the movie's great, and it doesn't get any nominations, it just goes and proves that Heath Ledger only got it because he passed away. Sadly, that's the thing. Movies in 3 months, excited. Yeah, like I said, man, that's the last comic book movie of the year. There's nothing else coming out. I believe we have an MCU movie coming out in February, and then there's really not going to be a whole lot to talk about here on the channel, which makes me sad. And I love doing channels, or this channel. I like building the channel up, but my subscriber base has been at a standstill. I haven't been going up in any subscribers. My views have been way down. My views almost dropped 60%. It's insane. And it's not going well, and there's no superhero movies in the near future to catapult that. At least this year I had Endgame. I'm like, well, things will pick up when Endgame came out, and it did slightly, but nowhere near as much as last year. And so I'm gonna have to start doing videos on other things. But I want to do a video on Millie Bobby Brown tomorrow. So talk about The Little Mermaid. Well, I did 2 videos on The Little Mermaid, and those videos came out really, really well, right? In terms of those videos getting me subscribers, getting me views, they did really, really well. And I would like to talk about Little Mermaid again, but I think my main subscribers will start getting pissed off at that point. So, but I have other stuff about Little Mermaid I could talk about, So I'm gonna have to start again, I don't even know what the word I'm looking for. Something else to try to generate more clicks, more topical stuff. Because I thought the fact that Darth Phoenix flopped more than Fan 4 Stick was something that was a popular video. I'm like, oh, well, this is popular, you know? And that video only got 2,000 views. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Either I'm doing something different in my videos that people just don't like. Maybe I'm not as entertaining as I was. Maybe they don't like the fast cuts in my videos now. I don't know. But my video viewership has went down the toilet, man. They went down the toilet. Well, it had nothing to do with the new algorithm, because if it was a new algorithm, my Little Mermaid video wouldn't be doing as good as they are. Now, yes, maybe the new algorithm is preventing newcomers, but I have 20,000 subscribers. So that means 18,000 of them aren't watching my videos. Right? And just because you have 20,000 subscribers don't mean every video you're going to get is going to get 20,000 views. But when you have 20,000 subscribers and your video averages 20 to 2,500 views, which is 2,000 to 2,500 views, that means 18,000 of your viewers aren't watching anything. And that really, really gets discouraging, you know, because I'm always trying to figure out how to be inventive, how to get funny, how to do little skits and little like jokes and stuff, and try to you know, do videos that, and it gets discouraging because and this hasn't happened in a while, but I would always get up, do videos, research what I'm going to talk about. Lately I've been getting up going, what's the point? Like, what's the point of getting up and doing a video? It's like I'll get up, I'll do a video, it's going to get 2,000 views. Oh, big deal. That's it. And don't get me wrong, I love doing videos. I absolutely love doing videos. I've done videos for years, since like over 10 years, since the beginning of YouTube, right? And I never got paid for any of that stuff. But when time comes and you're like, well, I can either do this video, it's going to take me about an hour and a half to film, edit, and upload it, or I can go to, you know, the comic shop or stuff, and I'll be like, well, I think I'll just go to the comic shop. Whereas before, I'll be like, well, I'll just do my video. Like, my videos come before everything. And now, I can't even talk about the live-action Mulan, because I did a trailer reaction to Mulan, and this is how many views it's got. My live-action Mulan only got 3,400 views. So I can't talk about Mulan. I'm Upset comes in with a super chat, the first super chat of the night, the super chat. Worst movie of the year. Oh man, dude, what is the worst movie of the year? So I'll start listing some of the worst movies of the year, and then I'll try to talk myself into which one was worse. Godzilla King of Monsters. Godzilla King of Monsters. Hellboy. That's the only ones I remember. I remember coming out of movies being not mad, but disappointed. So being disappointed and being a bad movie is two different things. Start listening to some of yours. Everybody start listening to some of the ones that you think were the worst ones this year, and maybe they'll start triggering some of the ones that I think. Not Dark Phoenix. Dark Phoenix was good. So was Game of Thrones. Worst movie of the year. I'm leaning on Hellboy. But to be honest with you, I don't know if it's Hellboy or Godzilla. At least with Godzilla, the fighting at the end of the movie was good. But I feel like you gotta sit through more shit. And the reason why I'm kind of leaning on Godzilla is because there's no reason why a movie where giant monsters fight should really suck. It's like, you just have giant monsters fight. I don't know why people keep saying, I thought you hated Far From Home. I am tired of seeing those comments. I thought you hated Far From Home. Did anybody read or watch my review? Did anybody actually watch my review? I said it was a 7.5. That's above average. even the second time when I seen it and I took it down a point and made it a 6.5, that's still above average. Just because something ain't the best in the world doesn't mean I think it's bad. So I really hate that. It's either it's the best thing or it's complete trash. It's like, no, it's an average movie. It's okay. I had fun with it. I never said I hated it. People really need to learn how to justify stuff. 7.5. Yeah, well, I dropped it down to 6.5 after my second viewing. I gave it 7.5. Then I went and saw it again, and then I was like, no, I'm dropping this thing down to a 6. Shazam wasn't horrible. I didn't like Shazam, but I think there's enough in that movie to at least where someone who doesn't know anything about Captain Marvel would enjoy it. Like Adam don't know shit about Captain Marvel, right? He knows nothing about the Shazam character. He fucking loves that movie. Me, I know about Shazam. I know about the character, so I didn't find that movie as enjoyable. I didn't even bother seeing Child's Play. I didn't bother seeing Dumbo. And I think this is another reason why I had a hard time picking movies this year for worst films, is because since MoviePass went under, and I no longer have MoviePass, I don't see anywhere near as many movies as I did before. Usually I would go see, like last year and the year before, I seen like 120 movies in theaters. Like not 120 times, but I went and saw 120 different movies in theaters. I saw everything. And I was able to really say, well, this sucks, and this sucks. But that was also back when I was reviewing everything on my channel, not just superhero stuff. I did not watch Men in Black either. So this year I've been really picking on what I went to go see. I went and I saw Hellboy. And, yeah, not so good. Not so good. I'm really leaning on that being the worst movie. But there's things inside that I find entertaining, though. Like David Harbour as Hellboy, I found entertaining as hell. You know, it was a generic paint-by-numbers movie. It felt like a god-awful Resident Evil movie. But I found stuff in there more entertaining than I did with Godzilla. I found Godzilla just a giant bore fest until they fought at the end. And I went in that movie with the influence of alcohol. So I didn't see Men in Black. I didn't see Child's Play. I didn't see Aladdin yet, although a lot of people are saying, hey, Aladdin's pretty good. I didn't see that yet. I didn't see a lot of stuff this year. Because if there was any doubt in my mind that it wasn't good, I didn't go see it. I want to see Anna so bad. It's already out of theaters, unfortunately. It's basically like a John Wick female John Wick. I didn't get to see that. Pokemon was good. I had a few critiques about Pokemon. But overall, I think it's by far probably the best video game movie we have ever got besides Mortal Kombat. To tell you the truth, until you mentioned, I totally forgot Pokemon even came out this year. I'm trying to think of the other movies. Hey, Terrence is here. I haven't seen Terrence in my comments. I read my comments every day, and Terrence does not leave comments anymore. Not one comment have I seen where Terrence comes in and goes, something, Terrence out. See, this is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about my viewership going downhill. Even Terrence don't even write anymore. Give me the power, I beg of you. Yeah, they didn't do that in that movie, did they? That's another reason why I didn't watch that piece of shit. Oh, it's the fucking Terminator, man. He's the fucking Terminator. They programmed a buddy to get the fuck out of here and suck a fucking nut. Oh, what else? Sonic is got pushed back to next year. So, what else did I see? Oh, damn. Yeah, there's nothing. So, to answer your question, who sent the super chat, I think for the worst movie of the year, judging on the film that I've seen, I have no other choice but to say Godzilla is the winner. Godzilla was the worst movie. Yep, no voodoo magic. That's why I didn't go see it. Even though Adam and Cody Leach love that movie. Me personally, if it don't have voodoo or magic or a serial killer, what's the point of watching it? It's not child's play at that point. Christopher M coming in with a super chat. I still watch the videos. I'll have to comment more. Yes, you do, Terrence. Yes, you do. It make me know you're still around, buddy. Christopher M comes in with a super chat. Sup? Wanted to drop by and speak. What's up, Chris, man? I haven't seen you around either, man. What's up, bro? You doing all right? I'm surprised you ain't at the bar. Well, Christopher Warden comes in with a super chat. Wait, everybody waking up with super chats now? Chris Warden comes in. Joker's production budget is listed at $55 million with a break-even point of around $150 million. There's no chance this thing loses money. Look, I agree with you. I think that it's not going to lose money, but let's not get cocky and say that there's no chance it won't lose money. Okay, that's the first thing. You can't automatically assume there's no chance it's gonna lose money, right? There's no chance it's gonna lose money. It's gotta make 150 just to break even. And the reason why I say that is because nowadays most of the profits come from overseas. Okay, you look at Dark Phoenix, right? You look at how it flopped. It did like 60 something million here domestically, and made like 100 something, 130 or whatever overseas. Okay? The Joker is rated R, which means it does not get a China release, which means there goes the second biggest box office for it. There's a reason why Sony decided to make Venom PG-13. There's a reason why they made a PG-13 cut of Deadpool 2, because they want to get into the Chinese market, because it's the biggest moneymaker outside of the United States. So let's say hypothetical that it gets released and it doesn't make the 150 million. It might not make 150 million. Okay? Now, if I had a bet and I'm at Vegas right now and I'm like, look, I can put $100 on whether it will make its money back or not, I'm gonna put my money on yes, it will. Right? Because the Joker's a mad, whoa. Sorry, I just had a weird feeling in my neck. But, the Joker is a mad popular character. Right? People love the Joker. You go to comic book conventions, everybody's dressed up like a Joker. Right? And if the girls aren't dressed like Harley Quinn, they're dressed like female Jokers. Right? So I think there's like a really good chance it's going to make its money back. I don't think it's going to fail. But let's not get cocky and think that there's no chance it won't fail, because there is a small possibility that will fail. So thank you so much, Chris Warden, for your super chat. Bennett Lattimore comes in with a super chat. He says, "Hey, what's up today, Rob? Not I'm okay. I'm doing good. You guys remember a couple weeks ago I posted a video or whatever, me in the hospital, because I was getting those dizzy spells again. I was like, oh man, I'm dizzy. They checked me for like CAT scan and everything and all that. And I had that problem, and then it went away, right? I started juicing, eating good, it went away. And then yesterday it hit me again. Today it hit me really hard. Like, I was sitting at the computer editing my video for today, and I just went, like, everything around me just started like moving, and it started hitting me really, really hard. So I checked my blood sugar, that was fine. I don't know, maybe high blood pressure, I don't know, but they checked everything in the hospital and I was fine. So I don't know. I've been taking my CBD oil, drinking water, But other than that, Ben, I've been doing pretty good, man. I just woke up from a nap. I got home. I sold my Yu-Gi-Oh cards today. I went out to Cool Stuff and I sold my Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And I got home around 7. And then I laid down about 8 o'clock. And I woke up at 10. So I just took a nap, right? I was like really tired. I've been feeling really tired lately. No, that's the thing. I've been sleeping like crazy. Like crazy. I went to bed last night at 2. Right? I played some Bloodstain, went to bed around 2. and then I woke up at 10 this morning. That's like 6-7 hours sleep, right? That's more than enough. And I've been on vacation all week, so I can't use the excuse that I've been overworked or stressed, because all week what I've been doing is sitting my fat ass on the couch, slipping in and out of consciousness. Like I put on a fucking Blu-ray movie or something, I'll just put on Solo. Wake up in an hour, go pick Autumn up from work, come back home, I'll do a video, which I really love being on vacation because I can just do a video out of nowhere. So I was feeling kind of weird yesterday. It might be caffeine related, to be honest with you, because I've been drinking a hell of a lot of iced coffee. When I first had that problem, isn't CBD oil an ingredient from cannabis? Yes. I paid like $100 for a little bottle like this, but it helps so good. It helps so good. It calms my nerves and stuff. So I took a little bit of that before I left. I feel okay now since I got up, but I'm so worried because the littlest thing triggers it. And what happens is once it gets triggered, my anxiety kicks in like ASAP. Like I nothing will even happen, right? I'll be like this, and then if I just see like a little bit of like dizziness, like a lightheadedness, my anxiety kicks in and my anxiety just kicks my ass. Like that fucking anxiety is no joke, man. No joke, Bennett. But other than that, I've been fine. I've been going around. GameStop's been having like some Nintendo Switch games on sale. So I've been running around buying like cheap $10 games. Only because you don't get high from CBD. It's just the oil. So I've been buying like some cheap games, but I got to keep money in my bank, so, in case of emergencies and accidents and stuff like that. So I don't really buy anything for myself anymore, but I've seen a couple games on sale that I wanted to buy, and just trying to build up the Switch collection, trying to do YouTube, trying to do everything. So, you know how it is. Might be ending the stream here soon, though. I'm starting to get a little, not lightheaded, just tired. Yeah, it's legal. I bought it at a pharmacy. It's CBD oil, man. It's not marijuana. Marijuana gets you high and stuff. CBD oil does nothing but, it's for people that have like seizures, anxiety, all kinds of things. You take it and you take a few drops, and then what it does is it calms you down. It makes you like where you're just like, it doesn't make you high, like because you would think that you're high and you're like, yeah, man. No, it's not like that. It's like you're normal, but you don't care about anything, if that makes any sense, right? Like, for instance, my mind is always racing, right? I'm like, oh, well, what happens if this is happening? Or is this person okay? Is my cat okay? Is Autumn okay? Or am I going to be able to pay my bills? Do I got rent? I don't want to go back to work and all this. And then I take CBD oil and I'm like, I want to play video games. It's like everything that I worry about disappears when I take CBD oil. So I'm not sitting there like constantly. My mind ain't always racing on stuff. So it's really, really good. It's mad expensive though. I paid $88 for a little bottle like that, like super small. But it's really, really good. It helps me out a lot. And I took a little bit today. I didn't take any yesterday, but I gotta save some for work. I go back to work Friday, and that place is always insane. So I need to make sure I have plenty for work because that place is. So it's like antidepressant, yes, but it has more cures. It cures a lot of things. When I went to the pharmacy, they had a list of everything that it cures. And it's a huge list. Cannabis oil. You don't want cannibal oil, I'll tell you that. Cannabis oil has a lot of different benefits to taking it. That's why most of the country is starting to legalize marijuana, because the cannabis oil and marijuana heals everything. People got cured from cancer because of marijuana. It's like a miracle. It's a miracle drug, man. And the reason why they don't want that legalized, that well, now more states are legalizing it because they realize it's not really a drug; it's what's curing you. But a lot of pharmacies don't want to have it because they want you to use their drugs, which has horrible side effects, which makes you even worse. But that's a whole different conversation for another day. But yeah, but make sure when you go to like a pharmacy or something to get pure cannabis oil or CBD oil, because you can get like I don't know where you guys live at, but around where I live at, you get like a lot of these what's the word? Vape pen places. Like, yeah, man, I vape. Like fucking jackasses. I vape, man. I look so fucking cool. Boom! Your fucking thing blows up. You're dead. You fucking idiot. But a lot of people go and they buy like CBD vape pens or whatever. But I go with the pure oil. Yeah, I sold my Yu-Gi-Oh collection today. Well, a couple weeks ago, I sold all of them, all my rares and stuff, and today I just kind of went back and sold my commons. But the reason why I did that was because I did watch Rocket Man. I actually really enjoyed it. I don't think it's as good as Bohemian Rhapsody, but I really enjoyed it. But the reason why I sold my Yu-Gi-Oh card is because the game is so fucked up now, right? Well, like, I went to a regional tournament last year, and I got beat in the very first turn. Like, you don't even get a chance to do anything. It's like, I do this, this, and this, and I put this in, I reshuffle, do this. Like, 20 minutes for one person's turn, and they beat you, and you don't even get to play a card. But they introduced the speed duel format now. And I have a bunch of the speed duel cards, and I kept my speed duel decks, and I kept my speed duel card. So I'm going to do only the speed duels because those feel more like the classic Yu-Gi-Oh that I grew up with. So, so that's why I kept the speed duel stuff. But, I mean, if you guys want to see the CBD oil, I'll show you. It's like a small little thing. Hold on a second. I'll show you. So this is the one I bought at my pharmacy, and that's how big it is. I paid $100 for this, and what you do is pure cannabis oil, and then you just put like 4 drops underneath your tongue, and yeah, and it helps you out a lot. It helps with anxiety, it helps with stress, and I mean, it helps me out a lot. It really does. The problem is it's almost $100 a bottle. So, favorite Yu-Gi-Oh arc and episode. Favorite arc is Battle City Tournament. Favorite episode. Oh, man, there's a lot of favorite episodes. One of my favorite episodes is I love the last episode with Yugi versus Yugi. You know, when Lil Yugi realized when he wins, the Pharaoh goes forever. I think that's a really touching episode. One of my other favorite episodes is, of course, him versus America in the Battle City tournament. I loved Yugi versus Kaiba at Battle City. Man, talk about a duel that fucking lived up to it. I know it's an animated show, and I know Yugi's pretty much going to win all the time, but man, like when those two scrapped and fucking Kaiba played what was it, reverse hand or whatever, where the fucking graveyard went to their hand and like they only had like 3 cards, and fucking like Yugi, when Yugi played that last card, man, and beat Kaiba was just like, I felt so bad for Kaiba, so bad. Like I teared up for Kaiba, because he had it, man. He had it dead to right. And fucking Yugi still pulled that shit out. I liked Joey versus Yugi at Battle City. At Duelist Kingdom, I really enjoyed, of course, Pegasus versus Yugi was a good one. I really enjoyed Kaiba versus Yugi. There's a lot of really good episodes. I'm trying to think of my absolute favorite episode. the one episode I always go back to was, and I'm gonna count this as probably one of my favorite, because Battle City is by far my favorite arc. I love Battle City to death. Like my video, like the video games that center around Battle City are my favorite video games. One of my favorite 3-episode arc was Yugi versus Merrick when he played the mime guy with the Pearsons, and he had to go up through Slifer the Sky Dragon, and Yugi fucked that bitch up, son. It was so good. I was like, dude, fucking Merrick had him, dude. He had Revival Jam. He had everything. He had like 1,000,000 cards in his hand. Yugi was fucking dead to rights, and then Yugi was like, no, I got you. And Yugi trapped fucking Merrick into the fucking, into the loop to where he constantly had to keep redrawing until he decked out. And, yeah, that was just classic. I love that so much. Because I love Yugi. He was like, I'm going to make you destroy your own dragon, or however he said. And it was funny. Yeah, it's just, I love Battle City. I love Battle City so much. Plus, they introduced Dark Magician Girl versus the Arcana match. I really liked. I think Joey's matches were really good. With him versus Esperoba was fantastic. And I feel like a real fucking, geek right now talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! I got the whole box set, though. I got the whole box set on DVD, where you put it's like 5 or 6 box sets you put together and it makes Exodia. So I got that. And the thing is, as big of a Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan I am, I never finished the final saga, or the final 2 sagas rather, because I watched Battle City, and then shortly after Battle City is when I started my job, my actual. I graduated high school. I started my real job, and then I started doing the storyline with the Sacred Beast with the Seal of Orichalcos. And then I got to the episode where Yugi got absorbed by the Seal of Orichalcos. And that was like the last episode I watched. And then from there, I caught episodes as they went. And then I remember the final arc, they went to ancient Egypt times for some reason. And that had a lot to do with, what was his name? The kid with the white hair that ended up being like possessed like Yugi. Oh my god. Oh my god, I can't remember his name, man. Kabora? No. What the fuck was his name? The kid, the foreign exchange kid with the white hair that was possessed by the Millennium necklace. Who the fuck was that guy? I know you guys know. But anyway, they went back in Egypt to deal with him and stuff, and that's when we found out what the pharaoh's real name was. Bakura? It was Bakura, right? Yeah. So, yeah. No, not Mokuba. Mokuba! No, we're talking about Bakura. But Mokuba! But, really loved that show. And then I remember it ended. And then I fucking like teared up in that last episode when Joey was like, "You're not going anywhere." You know why? Because your memory's gonna live through us. And then he's like, "It's your movie." And you just see Yugi go. Did you guys see the new Yu-Gi-Oh movie that came out like 2 years? Like, what was it, last year or the year before? The one that came out in theaters. I forgot what it was called. But dude, that, like, I was talking to my buddy Lee about that shit yesterday. Oh fuck, man! I'm talking about Yu-Gi-Oh, and someone sent me a super chat. I can't talk about it no more. Let me just talk about this one thing with Yu-Gi-Oh real quick, and I'll get to your question, Bennett. But I was watching the Yu-Gi-Oh movie last year, and I was talking to Lee about this because we both seen it, and like, Yugi was boss in that fucking movie, right? Like little Yugi was getting his ass kicked, Kaiba was getting his ass kicked, and then his final ditch effort, fucking the Pharaoh just comes out, plays one card, and beats the guy. Pharaoh's like, boom! Like didn't he pull like a Millennium, like Monster Reborn or something? I forgot what he fucking did, but he like played like Monster Reborn or something. He just came back, or it might have been Dark Magician. I can't remember, but like he was like, "I'm gonna fade," or what? It's been a while since I've seen the movie. I've seen it in theaters. I own it on Blu-ray. He's like, "I'm gonna fade." I played with my last card, and then like the Pharaoh just comes down and goes, "Doo," mic drop. It was so good. It's so good. I really love the first Yu-Gi-Oh movie too, with with the ancient Egypt Phoenix guy or the Sphinx guy. I love that movie so much too. Like Yugi is just like fucking beast as hell, dude. I got a great Yu-Gi-Oh story too for like regionals. I'll give it to you in a second, but Mokubo Bichaosu. Okay, so let's get to this non-Yu-Gi-Oh topic, even though I was having a ball talking about Yu-Gi-Oh. Bennett Latimer comes in. Unrelated topic. What do you think of the rumor floating around about MCU Spider-Man getting 9 movies? That's 100% false. 3 in high school, 3 in college, 3 in adult. That's not happening, buddy. I don't know where you got that rumor at, Bennett, but that is 100% not happening. In order for that to happen, that means Tom Holland had to sign 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, like a 14 film deal. There's no way that's going to happen. No way that's going to happen. So, yeah, no way. Because, and second of all, after the next Spider-Man film, the contract is over with. Sony has full rights again of Spider-Man. Now, whether they want to re-up that contract, we will have to wait and see. Or Sony might be like, you know what, we're going to go put him in Venom. You know, so we don't know yet. We don't know. But I'm telling you right now, Bennett Latimer, thank you so much for the super chat, buddy, because I need all the money I can get. But there's no way in monkey hell that he signed a 14 to 15 movie contract and they're doing 9 Spider-Man films. No way. Even though Spider-Man is the biggest character in Marvel Comics, no way they signed a 9 movie deal with him. No way in hell. But thank you so much for look, even Carvey is like, hell no. But yeah, no way. Yeah, so the Pyramid of Light, man. That was another one. I really, really liked that movie a lot too. I can't remember what happened at the end of that one. Oh, it's been so long since I've seen it. But dude, like, yeah, fucking Yugi is straight boss. He does that a lot. Like, he'll just come in like, you know, I play this trap card. You know, like, yeah, I'm a massive Yu-Gi-Oh fan, really am. And it was funny because when I moved to where I live now, I was raised in Fort Lauderdale for about 18 years. So I lived, not 18, for about 15, 16 years. I was born in New York, moved to Fort Lauderdale when I was 5, and I moved when I was 19. And being in high school, I was like, man, like, fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! So lame. Like, who the fuck watches Yu-Gi-Oh? And then I moved up here, and I didn't have cable, so there wasn't really nothing to watch. So I seen Yu-Gi-Oh! On, and I watched it. I was like, motherfucker, I fucking like this show. I don't know why tournament shows get me. Like, tournament shows get me. I remember, like, I was always a Dragon Ball Z fan, but I love Dragon Ball. I'm talking about the OG Dragon Ball. Like, the World Martial Arts tournaments are some of the funnest fucking episodes. Like Goku versus Jackie Chun was fantastic. You know, Goku versus Tien, Goku versus Piccolo. Just in general, the tournament sagas were fantastic. And that was one of my favorite things about Dragon Ball Super, was they reintroduced so much of tournaments back into it. You know, we had the Battle of the 6th and 7th Universe. Then we had a little mini tournament. Then the Tournament of Power, which I think is awesome. I love the Tournament of Power. But I like Yu-Gi-Oh! Because of the tournament aspect. Even though we know that Yugi's pretty much going to win, there's still that chance like, oh, he might not win. You know? And one of my favorite things was Battle City, was because anything could happen at Battle City. And another thing I think that was really interesting about Battle City was it was the first time that they introduced the rare card thing, where if you lose, you got to give them your locator card and your rare card. So I'm like, well, you know, Yugi can lose at any given time. And the introductions of the God cards were amazing. Amazing. Like one of my favorite things when I was younger, I used to go around quoting what Sade used to say. If one of the 3 Egyptian God cards got into the wrong hands, the results would be catastrophic, or whatever the fuck Sade said. And then, like, he was like, all 3 Egyptian God cards are in the same place, or whatever. It's ridiculous. But I liked it because of the intrigue of Battle City. Was we were getting to know who Yami was, and how Merrick was this guy who was the Pharaoh's guard. I believe, like, he was, like, him and his family was the guard of the pharaohs to watch his tomb, and he was so upset by that, because he wasn't allowed to do anything, that, it turned him. And I really thought that was really well done. And, just, really, really liked it. Jackie Chan anime was a great series. I love that show. His what was it, his little daughter or niece? I can't remember who the little girl was related to him. But I used to watch that show religiously. I liked it a lot. Jackie Chan's Adventures. Yeah, I was a big fan of that too. Well, I guess it should make close to $1 billion. What should make it close to $1 billion? What will make close to $1 billion? Who's making $1 billion? Am I making $1 billion? Are you making $1 billion? Somebody's making $1 billion. I don't watch the bridge shows. I don't watch Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge. I don't watch Dragon Ball Bridge. I'm not a fan of a bridge stuff. Yeah, Merrick killed his dad. Merrick kills his dad. It's really, really dark. And if you ever read the manga, the manga in the very first 3 volumes are dark. It has nothing to do with card games. Basically, Yami is, this guy who's just good at games, and he puts people. He's almost like Jigsaw, right? Where he goes up to bad people and he's like, "Let's play a game. If I win, I have your soul." And he straight up kills people, and they don't put that in the show. Although I believe in Japan there was this thing called the Lost Season here in America, where they actually covered that in the show. But that was only aired in Japan because, Japan is not pussies like us here in the United States. But, yeah. But, it is what it is, though. But I'm a big fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! I really like that show. I try getting into Fairy Tail, and I can't. I want to so bad. The reason why I want to is because I love the character designs. But I watched the first episode, and I can't get further than that. I can't. Asura writes, thoughts of Spider-Man being trash, not in the MCU. What? Thoughts on Spider-Man being trash, not in the MCU. I don't know what that means. I don't know if there's because this is the second super chat that you sent that I don't understand what you're saying. I don't know if there's a language barrier or something. Thoughts of Spider-Man being trash, and then you wrote not in the MCU. I don't know what that means. Asura, go ahead and rewrite something. Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 0 was great, yeah. But what the fuck was I gonna say? Oh, we got Daniel J coming in with a super chat. Do you think Jumanji can compete with Star Wars Episode 9, considering the fact that they're closely together in December? Absolutely. Now, full disclosure, I'm not gonna go see Jumanji. I didn't see the last Jumanji. I am a fan of the original Jumanji, and I don't want to go see the other Jumanjis. Now, let's not forget, when episode 8 came out, Jumanji was released a week before or a week after. And everybody's like, oh man, Star Wars is going to kill it. And Jumanji made a fucking shitload of money. So they're probably going, you know what? We made a shitload of money when we released around the last Star Wars movie. Let's release around this Star Wars movie. And they're going to make a shitload of money. You know why? For several reasons. One, there's not that much hype around Episode 9. I'm a massive Star Wars fan. Even I'm not all that hyped. Okay? Because at this point, all the dirty laundry, you talked about Fox getting back the rights since the deal with the MCU is almost over. Well, Sony's getting back the rights. Yeah, but what do you mean by that, though? Well, I'll get back to you in a second, Asura. I'll get back to you in a second. But, I'm a Star Wars fan. I'm not even hyped for Episode 9 because all the dirty laundry has pretty much been laid out for everybody in the public to know, where we know that Lucasfilm and Kathleen Kennedy didn't have a storyline for the trilogy. They're like, oh, we're going to come up with this great idea for a movie. Oh, Rian Johnson, come in, do your own thing for the movie. And, oh, hey, guess what? Colin Trevorrow, you're going to do your own thing for the movie. Oh, no, wait, you're fired. We're going back to JJ. So they never had a full plan for the trilogy, which really pisses me off. If Kevin Feige can have a fucking master plan for 22 movies, you can't come up with a master plan for 3 fucking films. So that pissed me off. And then, the whole thing going on with Solo and this, and it just drives me nuts. So I'm not excited for it because they never had a clear-cut plan on what they were doing over there. Now, granted, when another trailer drops, or maybe we get to November, I might be like, oh man, I can't wait, Star Wars and Star Wars. But right now I'm not, because like I seen Endgame. I seen what a great payoff is. I don't think episode 9 can live up to that. What could they do in episode 9 that can pay it off for me? Right? Everything that I fan theoried after episode 7 has been debunked. It's not going to happen. Oh, well, maybe she's, because I theory, like, after episode 7, I was like, well, Rey's Luke's daughter, right? Kylo Ren turned bad, killed Luke's wife, and Luke went into hiding or something. Like, I came up with all kinds of crazy theories, and none of that came out. And at this point, I just don't care no more. I still love Star Wars. I still read every novel that comes out. I'm a massive love the Yu-Gi-Oh theme song. Yu-Gi-Oh. Dun, dun, dun. Anyway, but yeah, massive Star Wars fan still. Read all the novels, look up all the news. I'll be there day one. I'll probably see it like 10 times like I seen Last Jedi in theaters. Just right now, I'm not really that looking forward to it. Well, I'm looking forward to it. I'm just not jumping out of my seat like I was with episode 8. Right? Like after episode 7, like, man, I can't wait for episode 8. Right? I'm not jumping up my seat for that. But yes, Jumanji can 100% compete with Star Wars. It did it last time, so there's no doubt it can't do it again this time. So just saying. But thank you so much for your super chat, Daniel J. Asura wrote, okay, thoughts on Spider-Man being trash, not in the... Okay, I think I got what you're saying now, Asura. So, do I think if the MCU deal don't, and you really need to reword the way you say stuff, my friend, because I shouldn't have to try to fucking break your riddle in order to figure out what you're saying. But basically you're saying is, do I think it's going to be trash without the MCU? And here's the thing: if they don't reboot it again, and they just take the Tom Holland Spider-Man and give it back to Sony, yes, it's probably going to be trash because that version of Spider-Man fits the MCU. I'm a big fan of the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, but that fits what Sony was doing. That wouldn't have fit in the MCU, whereas this version fits in the MCU. As they take that version and put them in the Venom movie or not in the MCU no longer, I don't think it's going to fit any longer. Right? They would have to redo it again. But, yeah, so I hope that answered your question. Next time, please reword it better, buddy. Please. Very hard to figure out. Thank you. Gregory Brown comes in. Do you think episode 9 will underperform like Solo? Absolutely not. No. There's several reasons why Solo underperformed. Several reasons. Everybody's like, oh, it underperformed because of the backlash on Last Jedi. You do know Last Jedi made over $1 billion, right? If Last Jedi sucked that bad, and people hated it as much as as the people make it out to be, then it wouldn't have made over $1 billion. Okay. Just saying. The reason why Solo underperformed, it had nothing to do with episode 8, Last Jedi. The reason why Solo underperformed was several different reasons. One, it was taking place in the summertime. It was taking place in May. All the previous Star Wars movies by Disney were done in December where there's no competition. We just had a Star Wars movie like 4 months before that was very diverse, right? Not only that, they're making a movie that nobody wants. They're making a Solo movie that nobody wants. Then they cast an actor who's nothing like Harrison Ford. We just had Harrison Ford's Han Solo die in episode 7, and then they're redoing another Han Solo movie with a different actor. What else was going on? There was all kinds of stuff. Wasn't Avengers like right around there or something? And like they're marketing for them and everything. And yeah, like even Bob Iger was like, yeah, I messed up by not putting it in December because we couldn't market it right. Like we couldn't put toys out to promote it because we had to put like Avengers toys out. So there's like a plethora of different reasons. Then you have like Lord and Miller get fired and they brought in Ron Howard. So episode 9 is not going to underperform because it's been like a year and a half since we had a Star Wars movie. So, yeah, it's not going to underperform. But will it make Force Awakens numbers? No. Will it make Last Jedi numbers? It depends. I think a lot of people are kind of checked out on this storyline. It's like, I like Last Jedi, but I can understand why certain people don't like Last Jedi. If you're a big fan of Luke Skywalker, you don't like what they did with Luke Skywalker. I think what they did was brilliant, but other people don't. They're entitled to that. People are like, well, I don't care because they killed Snoke, so there ain't no intrigue on that. Rey's nobody. Her parents are fucking filthy junk traders. So there's a lot of things going against it, but it's not going to underperform like Solo. And to be honest with you, if Solo didn't have to reshoot the entire movie, Solo wouldn't have underperformed. Solo made like what, 100 and something or 400 something million worldwide. It would have broke even and made a profit if they didn't have to go back and reshoot everything Lord and Miller already did. The only reason why Solo bombed is because after they let Lord and Miller go, that Ron Howard came back in and they had to reshoot almost the entire movie. They had to reshoot like 75% of that movie, which means, guess what? They had to do all that budget again. So it basically almost doubled the budget. That's why it lost the studio money. If they would have just, in a perfect world, if Lord and Miller stayed on as director, they didn't have to do no reshoots. Solo make the same amount of money as it did, would have brought out a profit because it would have not had to do the whole budget of reshooting and stuff again. So yeah, that's the reason why Solo really underperformed. Is because unfortunately they had to reshoot the whole damn thing. Same thing with Justice League. I'm not gonna not mention Justice League. If Justice League would have came out and they didn't have to reshoot so much, Justice League would have made a profit too. But the problem is when they released Zack Snyder and Josh Whedon came in and they had to reshoot it, all that different things, they had to go in and spend more money, and it ended up costing the studio more money to make it. So that's why Justice League and Solo, like if you ever hear me talk about movies bombing, I will always mention Solo and Justice League, and now I'll even throw Dark Phoenix in the mix because Dark Phoenix probably would have broke even too if it wasn't for the fact they had to go back and reshoot that entire third act scene. So that's the situation where reshoots can cost the studio more money in the long run because the movie is not able to recoup, spending almost double the budget to do the reshoots. So, but on the opposite side of that, there was massive reshoots for Rogue One. Right? Rogue One had massive reshoots. They reshot a lot of stuff in the third act. They brought an entire new actor or director in there to redo the third act, and that movie made a profit. Despite that, because one, it was released in December and it made over $1 billion. So yeah, well guys, I had fun. I appreciate each and every one of you coming out, checking out the channel, watching the live stream. Thank you all so much for the super chats. Like I said, the super chats really keep the channel afloat. And I appreciate each and every one of you guys who send in the super chat. Thank you guys so very much. And until next time, as always, I'm Robert Storms, and that's my opinion. You guys have a good night.